My dear friend, let me ask you gently, have you started to wonder if this deep and lingering tiredness is just your new normal? Maybe you wake up more exhausted than when you went to bed. You move through the day in a fog, and even the simplest tasks feel heavy. You might say, I'm just getting older. But inside, you are quietly asking yourself, is something wrong with me? You try to stay hopeful, but deep down, there is a quiet fear. What if this tiredness never goes away? What if this is how the rest of life will feel from now on? Maybe you have stopped bringing it up because people just say that is what happens with age. But you know your body. This feels different. It is not laziness. It is not a lack of effort. It is something deeper. And not knowing what it is, that is the part that wears you down the most. You are not alone. You are not imagining it. And most importantly, you are not broken. This is not about pushing harder. It is about finally understanding what your body has been trying to say all along. So let us begin this journey together. 1. The hormones no one warned you would disappear. Let us begin with something almost no one tells us, even though it affects nearly every woman after menopause. I am talking about your hormones, not just the ones that gave you hot flashes or disrupted your sleep in your 50s. I mean the quiet but powerful hormones that slowly faded while no one was paying attention, especially estrogen and progesterone. Most of us were told that once menopause passed, things would stabilize. We thought the hardest part was over. But the truth is, for many women, the real fatigue and fog come not during menopause but after. That is because those hormones do not just level out. They continue to fall, sometimes to nearly undetectable levels. And when they are gone, you feel it, even if you do not have the words for it. Estrogen helps your brain stay sharp, your mood stay balanced, your body process energy efficiently. Without it, many women feel more confused, more irritable, and more exhausted than they expected. Tasks that used to be simple start to feel overwhelming. You may forget names, lose track of thoughts, or just feel off in a way you cannot explain. Progesterone helps calm your nervous system. It supports restful sleep and helps you feel grounded. Without it, falling asleep becomes harder, staying asleep becomes nearly impossible, and the result is a kind of tiredness that sleep no longer fixes. The worst part is, most women never hear about this. It is not tested, it is not explained, so we walk around blaming ourselves. We wonder if we are lazy or if we are losing our minds. But the truth is far more kind. You are not failing. Your body is adapting without the resources it once had. Some women find relief through carefully supervised hormone therapy. Others turn to lifestyle support, nutrition, stress reduction, sleep routines, and natural supplements. What matters most is not the method, but the message. You deserve to understand what is happening in your body. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to feel better than this. This is not just about aging. It is about being informed, because knowledge leads to healing, and healing brings back hope. 2. You eat well but still feel drained. Here's why now. Let us talk about something that confuses a lot of women. You eat well, you take your vitamins, maybe you even exercise, but despite all your effort, you still feel tired every single day. It feels unfair, does it not? You do everything right and still wake up with no energy. Here is what most people do not tell you. As we get older, our bodies change how they process nutrients. Even when you eat healthy food, your body may not be absorbing the nutrition it needs. This happens for many reasons, but one of the biggest is that your stomach produces less acid as you age. Stomach acid is essential for breaking down food and releasing vitamins and minerals. Without it, your body simply cannot absorb what you eat. So you can eat all the leafy greens, lean proteins and fruits you want, but if the nutrients are not being absorbed, your cells are still starving. And a starving body is an exhausted body. 4 nutrients are especially important and commonly low in women over 60. Vitamin B12, iron, vitamin D and magnesium. Vitamin B12 is vital for energy, memory, and nerve function. When it is low, you may feel mentally foggy, physically tired, or even emotionally flat. Some women are misdiagnosed with dementia when they are simply B12 deficient. Iron carries oxygen in your blood. Without enough iron, your heart works harder. You may feel breathless, weak, or like even walking to the kitchen is too much. Vitamin D supports not just your bones but your mood and immune system. Low levels can make you feel achy, down, or unmotivated. Magnesium supports over 300 functions in your body. It helps you sleep, calms anxiety, relaxes your muscles, and balances blood sugar. It is easily depleted by stress and almost never tested unless you ask. So if you are feeling tired despite eating well, do not assume the food is the issue. Look at how your body is using it. Ask your doctor to check these nutrient levels, not just assume they are fine. And if they are low, do not rely only on a multivitamin. Sometimes your body needs a specific supplement or a change in how and when you eat. The most important thing to remember is this: exhaustion is not always about doing too much. Sometimes it is about missing what your body quietly depends on. And when you start replenishing those missing pieces, the shift in energy can be life-changing. 3. You sleep all night, so why are you still tired? Now let us talk about sleep, because this one is frustrating. You go to bed at a reasonable hour. You stay in bed all night. But you still wake up exhausted, maybe even more tired than when you went to sleep. And you wonder, how is that possible? The answer lies in the difference between sleep quantity and sleep quality. As we get older, our sleep architecture changes. That means our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that helps us fall asleep and stay asleep. We also spend less time in deep sleep, the stage where your body repairs tissue, restores energy, and clears the mind. So even if you are in bed for 8 hours, you may only be getting a few hours of real, healing rest. You might also notice a pattern: waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, unable to fall back asleep, lying there with your mind racing, worrying about your health, your family, your future. And by the time the sun comes up, it already feels like you are behind. This kind of shallow, broken sleep leaves you feeling foggy, stiff, and emotionally fragile. You may snap at small things, forget appointments, or feel like you are running on fumes. The good news is that there are ways to improve sleep quality without medication. Small changes can make a big difference. Start by turning off screens at least 1 hour before bed. The blue light from phones and televisions tells your brain to stay awake. Instead, read a book, take a warm shower, or listen to calming music. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Invest in comfortable bedding. Try blackout curtains. Create a ritual that tells your body it is time to rest. You might also consider a gentle supplement like magnesium glycinate, which helps relax the body and support deeper sleep. Always speak to your doctor before starting anything new. And if you snore loudly or wake up gasping for air, talk to your doctor about sleep apnea. It affects many older women, especially after menopause, and it often goes undiagnosed. Remember, rest is not just about being in bed. It is about giving your body what it needs to truly repair. And you deserve that kind of rest, the kind that makes you feel alive again in the morning. 4. The invisible weight of stress you have carried for years. Let us take a deep breath together, because this one is tender. There is a kind of tiredness that does not come from lack of sleep. It does not come from overworking your muscles. It comes from something deeper, from years, sometimes decades, of carrying invisible weight. The emotional kind. The kind no one else sees, but your body never forgets. When you were younger, you carried the world. You raised children. You worked. You took care of parents, partners, neighbors, everyone who needed you. And you did it without complaint, because that is what strong women do. But that strength has a cost, especially when you never got a break. Especially when you told yourself, one day I will rest. One day, life will slow down. But that day never fully came. Now, the kids are grown. The job is behind you. But the pressure did not leave. It just changed shape. Now you worry about your health, your partner's health, your finances. You might be caring for an aging spouse or helping raise grandchildren. You might lie awake at night wondering if your money will last or if your children are okay. And that worry lives in your body. It shows up in fatigue, in irritability, in a kind of exhaustion that no nap can cure. This is emotional fatigue, and it is real. The body does not know the difference between a real danger and a chronic worry. It responds the same way. It releases cortisol, the stress hormone. And when cortisol stays high, it drains your energy. It wears down your immune system. It clouds your thinking. It robs you of rest. Sometimes it is not just the to-do list. It is the heartbreak, losing friends, watching loved ones suffer, feeling like your purpose has faded. Maybe retirement brought more silence than joy. Maybe your identity is shifting. And all of that, quiet grief, constant giving, unspoken fears, it is heavy. But hear this and hold it close. You're not weak. You're not too sensitive. You're not imagining it. You're carrying too much, and it is time to put some of it down. How? First, give yourself permission to feel what you feel. You do not have to be the strong one all the time. You're allowed to rest, to cry, to need help. Second, protect your peace. That means saying no when you need to, setting boundaries, even with family, giving yourself space to breathe. Third, find small ways to release. Maybe that is journaling, maybe it is a quiet walk, sitting in the sun, calling a friend, seeing a counselor, joining a group. You do not have to do it alone. Emotional exhaustion is just as real as physical fatigue. And when you begin to care for your emotional self with the same devotion you gave to others, something beautiful happens. You start to return to yourself. And that, my friend, is where true energy begins. 5. The blood sugar roller coaster. You did not see coming. Let us talk about something unexpected, something that might be affecting your energy without you even knowing it. Your blood sugar. Now, you might be thinking, I do not have diabetes. That is not my problem. But here is the truth. You do not need diabetes to have blood sugar swings. In fact, many women after menopause experience silent blood sugar imbalances. They just do not know what to call it. As we age, our bodies become more resistant to insulin. That means we do not process sugar from food as efficiently as we used to. So what happens after a meal, especially one high in refined carbohydrates? Your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin to bring it back down, and then it crashes. You feel tired, moody, foggy, or suddenly hungry again, even though you just ate. Sound familiar? Let me walk you through a typical day. You wake up, maybe grab something quick for breakfast, a piece of toast, a banana, maybe a cup of coffee with sugar and cream. It seems harmless, but that meal sends your blood sugar soaring. A couple of hours later, you crash. Now you are tired, maybe a little shaky. So you grab a snack, crackers, juice, something sweet. Another spike, another crash. And so the roller coaster continues. This cycle happens quietly, and each crash leaves you more tired than the last. So what can you do? Start your day with protein and healthy fats. That might be eggs, plain Greek yogurt, nut butter on whole grain toast, or even a protein smoothie. Protein helps stabilize your blood sugar and gives you energy that lasts. During the day, eat smaller, balanced meals. Try not to let more than 4 or 5 hours go by without food. Each meal should include some protein, fiber, and a little healthy fat. That combination keeps your energy steady. If you snack, pair your carbohydrates. Instead of just an apple, add some almonds. Instead of crackers alone, try them with hummus or cheese. These little adjustments can prevent crashes that lead to fatigue. Also, be mindful of sugar. You do not have to give up sweets forever, but cutting back on refined sugars and white bread can make a big difference in how you feel. This is not a diet. It is not about restriction or weight loss. It is about supporting your body in a way that helps you feel like yourself again. And here is the hopeful part. Once your blood sugar becomes more stable, you will start to notice fewer mood swings, less fog, more energy. You may even sleep better. It is a quiet shift, but a powerful one. 6. Could your medications be quietly draining you? Now I want to talk about something that many women never suspect: the medications they take every day. By the time we reach our 60s or 70s, many of us are on at least 2 or 3 prescription drugs, sometimes more. Blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications, sleep aids, pain relievers, medications for anxiety or depression. And often we trust that if our doctor prescribed it, it must be helping us, and in many cases, it is. But here is what is rarely discussed. Some of these medications, while necessary, can have a side effect that slowly creeps in over time: fatigue. Beta blockers, for example, are often used to treat high blood pressure. They slow your heart rate, which can help protect your heart. But they can also make you feel sluggish or low energy, especially if the dose is too strong for your needs. Statins, used to lower cholesterol, can cause muscle aches or joint pain in some people. And when your body aches, you are more likely to feel drained. Certain antidepressants can help lift your mood, but also flatten your energy. You may feel emotionally numb or unmotivated, even when things are going well. Sleep medications can help you fall asleep, but leave you feeling foggy the next morning, like you never fully woke up. Even common over-the-counter drugs like antihistamines or some pain relievers can cause drowsiness, especially when taken regularly. The point is not to stop taking your medications. Never do that without speaking to your doctor. The point is to become aware, to ask questions, to be an active participant in your own care. Bring a list of every medication you take, prescription and over-the-counter, to your next appointment. Ask your doctor or pharmacist, could any of these be contributing to my fatigue? You might be surprised by the answer. Sometimes a lower dose, a different medication, or a small lifestyle change can reduce the need for certain drugs. Sometimes it is just about adjusting timing or knowing what to expect. You have the right to feel good, not just to survive, but to thrive. And sometimes the path to feeling better starts by taking a closer look at the medicine cabinet. Your body deserves the same care and curiosity that you have always given to others. You have earned that. 7. The loneliness that wears you down, even when you are not alone. Let us talk about something that almost no one wants to admit, yet so many women feel deep in their bones: loneliness. It is not just about being alone. You can have people around you, even live in a full house, and still feel deeply, quietly lonely. It is the kind of emptiness that does not show up on your calendar, but shows up in your energy. You feel it when you wake up and no one really needs you anymore, when the phone is silent for days, when holidays feel more like reminders of what used to be. This loneliness is not just emotional, it is physical. Studies show that loneliness increases fatigue, weakens the immune system, raises stress hormones, and even affects sleep quality. Your body registers it like pain because to the brain it is just as real. And here is the hard truth: many older women do not talk about it because they feel ashamed. They think, I should be fine. I have lived through so much. I should not feel this way. But the truth is, we were not meant to do life alone. We are wired for connection, for being seen, heard, and valued. And no, scrolling on a phone or watching television does not replace real connection. We need eye contact. We need touch. We need shared stories and real laughter. Even a 10-minute phone call with someone who truly listens can change your day. A walk with a neighbor, a coffee with an old friend, these moments fill something inside that vitamins and sleep cannot touch. So what can you do? Start small. Think about one person you feel comfortable with. Reach out. Say, "I was thinking of you." Ask for a visit or offer to meet up. If friendships feel distant, consider joining something gentle, a book club at the library, a gardening group, a craft class, even a walking group at the local senior center. You do not have to force conversation. Just being around others can begin to lift the fog. If you are caregiving or homebound, online support groups can offer a lifeline. Even letters. Yes, good old-fashioned letters. There are organizations that match older adults with pen pals. Writing and receiving mail is surprisingly powerful. The most important thing is to remind yourself you are still worth knowing. You still have stories to tell, wisdom to offer, laughter to share, connection to give and receive. Loneliness is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of longing, and that longing deserves to be met with kindness, not shame. You have not been forgotten. You're still here, and you are still needed. 8. Reclaiming purpose, because you are still becoming. Now let us talk about something deeper than blood sugar, deeper than sleep, deeper even than hormones. Let us talk about purpose. Because sometimes when a woman says, "I feel tired all the time," what she really means is, "I do not feel needed anymore." This is a kind of tiredness that does not show up on lab tests. It does not go away with a nap. It is a soul-level fatigue, a sense of drifting, a quiet ache that whispers, "What now?" You see, for most of your life, you were driven by roles. You were the mother, the partner, the worker, the caregiver. You woke up each day with people depending on you, tasks to complete, places to be. You gave your time, your energy, your heart. And even when it was exhausting, it was also fulfilling, because you knew why you were doing it. But now maybe the children are grown and have families of their own. Maybe you have retired. Maybe the house is quieter than you expected it to be. The phone does not ring as often. The calendar has more blank spaces than busy ones. And in that stillness, you might find yourself wondering, do I still matter? You might ask, does anyone even notice if I am not there? And that question, spoken or not, can sit heavy on the heart. Please hear me when I say this. You are not invisible. You are not done. Your story is still unfolding. Purpose does not disappear when you stop working or when the kids move out. It simply shifts. It becomes something more internal, more personal, more powerful in its quiet form. Maybe now your purpose is to tell your story, to write it down, or to speak it aloud to someone younger who needs your wisdom. Maybe it is to grow beauty in the world, a garden, a painting, a quilt, a poem. Maybe it is to show up fully present for a friend who feels alone. Maybe your purpose is to finally explore the things you never had time for, reading, learning, creating, resting. Purpose does not have to be loud. It does not have to be big. It only has to feel true to you. You are still becoming, even now, especially now. Let go of the idea that your worth is tied to how productive you are. Let go of the belief that purpose must look like it did 20 years ago. This is a new season, and it calls for a new kind of meaning. Ask yourself, what brings me peace? What brings me joy? What makes me feel like I am part of something bigger than myself? The answers may not come right away, but they will come. And when they do, follow them gently. Follow your curiosity. Follow your longings. Even if they seem small, start with one act, one intention, one thing that says, I am still here, and I still have something to give. And remember, giving does not mean depleting. Giving can mean smiling at a stranger, calling someone just to say hello, teaching your grandchild how to bake, sitting with someone in silence so they do not have to be alone. All of these are acts of purpose. You're not here to just get through the day. You're here to live it, to experience it, to love, to feel, to create, to rest, to notice. You're not past your prime. You're not fading, you're ripening, you're deepening. You're stepping into the chapter of life where meaning can run deeper than ever before. So if you have been wondering, what is next? Let that question be an opening, not a burden. Let it lead you into discovery, because as long as you are breathing, your life still has meaning, and your presence still matters. You are still becoming, and your presence in this world is still a gift. My dear friend, if you have listened to this entire conversation and found yourself nodding, maybe even tearing up at times, I want you to know this. What you are feeling is real. The tiredness you carry is not your imagination. It is not weakness, and it is not just your age. It is your body, your mind, and your heart asking for something different, asking for attention, for gentleness, for healing. Maybe it is your hormones. Maybe your body is missing key nutrients it once absorbed with ease. Maybe your sleep is shallow, or your stress has piled up quietly year after year. Maybe it is loneliness. Maybe it is grief. Maybe you simply need to feel like you matter again. Whatever the reason, there is a path forward. It does not have to be overwhelming. It does not have to be done all at once. Healing starts with one honest question, one small change, one new awareness. You have spent so much of your life caring for others, showing up, working hard, giving without always receiving. And now this is your time to turn that care inward, to ask your body what it needs, to trust your intuition, to listen with compassion, not judgment, never shame. You are not broken, you are not too late. And you are not alone. You're still becoming, even now, especially now. Let this be the moment you choose to honor your tiredness, not as a flaw, but as a signal, a gentle call to come home to yourself, to rest, to restore, to reconnect with your own life on your terms. And if no one else has said this to you today, let me be the one. You are worthy of care. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of energy that lets you live fully, not just get through the day. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay kind to yourself. You deserve